What's going on, guys? Zayne from Physique Academy here. So we've got Mitchell over from the US, one of my clients, and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to get sat down in the studio and talk through his incredible journey whilst he's been on board with us. So Mitchell, first of all, mate, let's talk about how long you've been on board. So how long have you been on board with us now?
Around 6 months now.
Awesome, mate. And can you remember what your starting weight was and where you're at now?
Yeah, I was just shy of under like 200 pounds. I was like 197, and right now I'm currently at 165. So, um, pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, fair bit of weight that we've managed to pull off you, I guess, eh?
Yeah.
And yeah, so like let's sort of start from like the start of your journey. Like first thing I always like to know, and obviously you know this from your initial consultation, like how did you come across Physique Academy? Like, whereabouts did you come across us?
Um, just scrolling through Instagram, and you just so happen to be on my feed, and I thought, I've seen all the transformations of your previous clients. I mean, from you and obviously all the coaches on Physique Academy. I was like, maybe I should, try it out, see what they're about, and because I've always wanted to, lose weight. I've been like really up and down in terms of like, I've gained weight, lost weight, then gained weight back, and then I really wanted something that's like, really, consistent and keeping the weight off and getting the sexy results,
That's
so to
it, mate.
speak. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what we want. Everybody wants the sexy results. But
Yeah.
yeah, so like when you like first reached out to us, were you a little bit like hesitant? Were you a little bit back and forth? Did it take you a while before you reached out to us?
Yeah, like I'm a pretty superstitious guy, so to speak. So like I'm always on my guard because like I just came across you and I don't know what to expect. But when we got on that consultation call and you ran down everything that you guys do and what the process is and everything, all the phases and everything, was like, okay, I really want to try this out. So, and I don't regret
Yeah.
1 second of
Do you
it.
still remember your first initial consultation?
Oh yeah, I remember that day. It's a day I'll never forget.
Awesome, mate. The start of something new, eh?
Yep.
So your initial goal when you first started. So obviously we spoke. I remember obviously we spoke about you constantly being up and down. Your results. Never really getting that finalized result that you sort of wanted. Can you remember what you told me your initial goal was when you first started?
First of all, just to get down to a healthy weight first, because like I've always I carry weight pretty. I mean, I carry weight pretty well. It was like, yeah, my heaviest was like 250, but like whenever people would look at me, I was like, I don't think you're 250 pounds, like, but I think it has to do with like my my body type. Like I have a more of an athletic build. I mean, my dad was a football player growing up in high school. American football, by the way,
American
not
football,
sorry.
not
Yeah,
not
yeah,
yeah, not English football, soccer.
yeah, American. Yeah, and like he has an athletic build, and he carries weight pretty well. So, um, but I wanted to like get to a healthy weight first, and then obviously I didn't want to like rush the process. You're not gonna get from like 200 pounds to like a six pack in one day. That's just not gonna happen. But I always set like small goals for myself, like just getting down a certain pounds per week, and then eventually I wanted the six pack and the showing my muscles off and everything, and I'm almost at the I'm
Touching
trying to
cloth, aren't we?
trying to
Touching
get.
cloth at finishing that first phase, getting those abs through.
Oh yeah, it's a pain to say the least, but I want to keep. I mean, I'm not gonna quit.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna quit when
Winner's
it comes to.
mentality.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Good, mate. And like, what do you think you've learned about your training and nutrition since you've been on board? Do you feel like you've learned a lot when it's come around to that?
Yeah, so I always knew how to get in the gym and work out and everything. It's just eating is always been my biggest enemy. Like
So
number one.
let's touch on that a little bit. So obviously, like when you first started, obviously your job, what you were doing now to when we first started was very different. You were on the road a lot, weren't you? So
Oh yeah, I worked as a truck driver. Not known for being in the best health. I mean, like, I think like 90% of truck drivers are overweight, and like 90% of them are obese. So
yeah. And can you remember when obviously you were doing that job and what we did to make sure you stayed on track of your food?
yeah, so it's very difficult to eat right when you're on the road. But luckily, I worked a job where I was regional, so I was like home every night, sometimes every other night. So one thing that is really one of my biggest enemies is portion size. I would eat like way too much, and you guys have really taught me the importance of portion size. You would in the diet plans you would have how many grams per serving. You would say like how many grams of chicken, how grams of rice, and everything, and you get like you have like a food scale, and I would always measure them out like almost on the dot, but you get the idea. But and I think that really played a big part in getting all this weight off of me. And obviously, like when I'm on the road, I would always whenever I would go at a truck stop, I would get you know healthiest option. I mean,
I think that was the big thing for you, wasn't it? It was like when you were on the road, didn't have access to normal food.
Yeah,
we kind of had to make that work, didn't we? We obviously spoke about Chipotle a lot, getting the rice boxes.
Yeah,
so just limiting the amount of calories when it comes around to that. I think that's a big part that a lot of people don't realize is we're not always gonna have access to his home kitchens, and it's that thing of okay, when we're on the road, when we're out and about. Okay, we might not be able to get something that's on this plan, but we can still monitor his calories. We can still choose a better option than obviously going down a big double-sized burrito or burger and fries.
Yeah, McDonald's. Yeah, because but yeah, I would always go to whenever there's a Chipotle around. I would always go to Chipotle, and it's like my burrito bowl is like 500 calories.
Yeah.
Just like which is typically how many calories I have in for a meal, and it's just like everything in America. I don't know about here, but like everything is so processed and has like a shitload of unnecessary excess calories, like a lot of fats and a lot of refined carbohydrates, and it's just it's difficult, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about training? So I remember when we first started training. I think we were on 3 days a week of training, and then we gradually ended up in that. We've added loads of different things. So like, where would you say you feel like you've learned a lot when it comes around to training? From a form perspective. How have you found like the sort of feedback? So obviously we've sent you've had form videos sent across to me. Like, how have you found that process?
Yeah. I always mess up on the form. I mean, a lot of people do, but it's just like it's just small tweaks like that. I mean, yesterday we trained at a gym, and it's a lot of tweaks. Like shoulders back or or hips, in and out or whatever.
Yeah.
It's always better to train with another person because like one, it pushes you push each other, but also
like your experience online. Obviously you've sent across like form videos across to me. Like, how have you found that? Like, do you find that the feedback's helped with that?
Yeah. Obviously, just recording the all the movements and everything, and like your feedback has always been very helpful for me, and I always do my best to I always do my best to keep that form intact, but obviously it really helps with when you're working out a certain muscle or whatever. Is I see like a huge difference in the feedback you've given me in just like shoulders back a little bit or like chest out or whatever, and I can whenever I do those tweaks, I can already feel a massive difference.
Get that form nailed first. It's always the case. Get the form nailed, weight comes afterwards. So let's talk mindset. how do you feel like your mindset since being on the program's changed? Because I know from a fact from obviously working with you for the past just over 6 months, you've changed massively as a person from how you view your own fitness, how you view your own life, your own values. So yeah, let's talk a little bit of where you were from a mindset side when you first started to where you are now, and yeah, let's go through that.
Yeah. So mindset, like, first of all, there are a ton of benefits in terms of working out. It's like obviously you look a lot better physically, but also up here you feel so much better. Like I wasn't necessarily depressed when I first started the program. I was just I just wanted to change, just to feel better, look better in clothes, being comfortable taking my shirt off, when I'm at a pool or a beach or whatever, just I never felt that confidence, so to speak, whenever I went out with a family or friends at a pool or at a beach. I mean, it's just I always feel insecure about my body, and I really wanted to turn that around.
You feel like you feel like you're in a position now where you feel confident in those situations?
Yeah, because like whenever my bathroom or whatever, whenever there's a mirror around, and
Get a cheeky flex.
I'm
Get
sure,
a cheeky flex.
yeah, when I'm shirtless or whatever, like getting on the shower or whatever, um, I always like look away at the mirror, and now I'm a lot more confident. I can look in the mirror and just be like, hey, I don't look that bad after all.
Can't walk past the mirror without giving it a little tense.
Yeah. Yeah,
So when it comes down to like goals and stuff of working on the program, like, do you feel like you've achieved, the kind of goals that you set out initially to do, or do you feel like you've almost like surpassed them?
I'd say there's always room for improvement. Like even when I do reach my goals, I either want to maintain or maybe just like go above and beyond. I'm always, you know, wanting to wanting to improve myself when it comes to like, anything, just up here learning more knowledge and like, nutrition or even, exercise wise, just so like even when I do finish the transformation event eventually, I can always set more goals for myself. I want to put on, maybe one day I want to be a bodybuilder or something like that, but right now I want to be more lean than like bulky, or
Yeah.
because I've been like overweight for so long. Is like whenever I step on a scale, I always have that somewhat have that mindset of like, oh, this is like, all this weight is mostly fat and not muscle. But
You feel like that's turned around now?
oh yeah, I feel, yeah. I mean, you guys have really helped, boost my confidence and
Yeah,
make
good.
me. Yeah.
So on that side of stuff, so anybody who is potentially like touching fence, maybe followed the Physique Academy page for a while, my page, potentially even your own, and followed like your journey, like. If they were on the fence, what would you say to like recommending them? Would you say that would you recommend us as a coaching brand?
Yeah. Let me put it this. I'll say this: if you're really on the fence about this, I would 100% recommend it. This will be like one of the best, if not the best, investment you have ever made, just for yourself.
Yeah, I think from a physical and mindset perspective, we obviously seen like a huge growth from yourself, haven't we?
It's a 2-for-1, so to speak. Yeah.
And also, let's talk like what's next. So I've obviously spoke to you about this quite a lot. I feel like it's a really interesting one to talk about on your journey. So throughout this period of obviously, us working together, you going through your own transformation. Obviously, we've spoke about this, and I feel like it's a great thing to talk about on this conversation today for the channel. What's next for you? Like, what is the next goal? Obviously, once we've surpassed and finalized your initial transformation, what from a career perspective, from a training perspective, what's the next best thing for you?
I've really wanted to go into the personal training and the fitness industry because I originally started. I originally wanted to go into fitness, back 5 years ago, but going to college, I don't want to do another 3 years of this. So yeah, and then I kind of lost interest back when COVID hit, and then now that I'm back with you guys, I really want to get back into. I really want to do get in the fitness industry and be a personal trainer and even I love to be top on board with you guys because you guys have been great and you've been really supportive of me and also you know thousands of other guys around the world as
Do you
well.
feel like going through your own journey like going through your own journey, seeing, the impact it's made on your life is what sparks that fire to, wanting to push other people, make
Yeah.
it like to help other guys, the same way
Yeah.
as I do, as all the other coaches in Physique Academy do.
Yeah. Because I do like helping other people. I even got my cousin on the program as
Yep.
well.
Shout out to John.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, just
Yeah, so
hi,
let's yeah,
hi,
let's
Hi,
yeah,
John.
let's talk through that. So obviously, like that was a big thing, obviously going through your own stuff. You
Yeah,
saw, somebody close to you struggling.
yeah,
Obviously, they hopped on board. Obviously, they're doing great now as well. And I think obviously that's what you saw obviously how much that helped. And I think you'd obviously love to be in that position to be able to
yeah.
do this for so many others as well.
It was like 2 months in the program. It was like I was like, okay, these guys are legit. I'm getting results with you guys, and my cousin was going through a very dark time in his life, and I thought bringing him on board here would be great because him and we both share very similar paths. We were really overweight in high school, and we have trouble struggle. We always struggle with our eating habits, and I thought this would be great for him. And whenever we do talk or text each other on the phone, he would always tell me, "Thank you, Mitch. This is one of the best things that has ever happened to me, and I can't thank you enough."
I think you got that side of it now where your values and conversations are very different. You share this passion and love for fitness and training, and rather than it becoming that environment of going for a beer, going for a load of food. It's that thing of like, let's go for a gym session, then we'll go get something good to eat afterwards and fuel like as new lifestyle that we've got.
Yeah, and that's another thing with you guys. It's like you're not too strict with your diets. It's like you can go out and still have a six pack. It's just it's not it's on a special occasion. It's not like every day or every week or whatever. I mean, you gotta enjoy yourself as well. I mean, personally, I don't drink anymore, but
You've had it before though. Like obviously we've managed, different family occasions, different social occasions.
yeah,
We've managed
yeah.
everything like that, and here we are still over 30 pounds down. We're touching on the cloth of nearly 40 pounds, and managing it properly has been a big thing to allow you to enjoy these situations, but also keep you in great shape. And obviously, me making sure that you're not taking it overboard as well. Make sure we factor these things in.
Yeah, because and I've been really self-disciplined with myself when it comes to stuff like that because you know a small setback like that for me it's like obviously when I go have a weekend or whatever and just eat whatever I want, it could really set me back and could take me like a couple weeks to get back to where I was. But and that's another thing with you guys, accountability. It's like whenever we do check-ins and you always ask us like have you had a social occasion for, and if you say yes, what did you do, what did you eat, and obviously I mean with the and you obviously give a weekly feedback. It's like, hey, now the what did you do to make up for it? Did more steps or did you do more cardio or whatever? But um
Do you think that accountability is one of the biggest factors of, you know, why you've been able to stay on top of your journey?
And also with the progress photos, it's like you can't hide.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if you gained like a pound or whatever, or a kilo for you guys, that you will see it, and it's like what is going on with you?
Yeah.
It's just and I think that's one of the things that really sets you from, you know, a lot of personal training that I did in the past. It's just you can't hide anything.
I guarantee you that result. That's why.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything else you want to touch on that we've been through?
I can't thank you guys enough for, you know, I mean, a lot of it has, I mean, some of it has been luck, you know, just you know, coming across your page on Instagram, and, you know, just simply typing whatever the word was in the DMs or whatever. And little did I know that here I am right now.
Yeah,
so
we'll be sat here, some of the best shape you've been in your life.
This is the best shape I've ever been in my adult life.
Yeah, love that, mate.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, guys, obviously, as you've seen, you know, great conversation with Mitchell, and he's one of our thousands of success stories. You know, the guy has turned around his life, lost a great amount of weight. He's now wanting to pursue his own coaching career, you know, potentially hop on board with us in the future as one of our coaches. You know, we are always in a position to take on new coaches. Mm-hmm. The big side of it here is, you know, if you're on the verge of, you know, reaching out to us, you know, wanting to take that leap, he is living proof of what is capable. You know, you've heard his story here today, so I'm sure there's going to be a little link below this video. Book in for your call, hop on board with one of our coaches, turn your life around, get in the best shape of your life, and stay in the best shape of your life. Do it for you, do it for your loved ones. And of course, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you are interested in coaching, drop us a comment, let us know what you thought.